Fox. She had seen you first, but I didn't know that. She'd watched you for months now from the shadows of the trees. You shared the same eyes, the same ears, the same quick, sharp voice, and she'd made herself your totem, all unseen. An invisible benefactor on each lonely journey, though always your attention was elsewhere. She didn't care, she loved you, and in her mind you were hers, even though out of shyness she'd never shown herself. And so it was I who saw her, sitting beside you that day, as she slipped across the road ahead of us. A fine gangster's lady in her crimson overcoat, languid steps indifferent to our bus as it rolled down towards her. She paused and turned to watch us, face elegant and harsh, expression unreadable. And that was when all the trouble started. Because all of a sudden, in that face, something flared like a meteor and wrenched, and suddenly there came, welling up with a gasp, a soft breaking sorrow and a swift bitterness. And I felt a pistol hidden beneath that coat being cocked and pointed, but our bus was almost on her, and she turned away, melted from sight into the stroke of a tail, and was lost to straining eyes. And even as tongue found voice and I cried, "Fox! Fox!" nothing was left but air. You chided me for not singing out sooner. You said you'd never seen a fox before, not though I'd been there half a day and you 6 months before me. It seemed unfair to you. Your happy indignation gambled round about till we got to the village. There we nearly got lost. And suddenly the blue skies I'd enjoyed for 2 weeks hardened to a bleak leaden sheet. Crows sat in the treetops. Caws drifted across the field. We stumbled through at last as the sky's grip tightened, wanted tea and cakes and a cozy afternoon. But the tea shop we found closed its doors in our faces. Private party, they said. There was no help for it. We pressed noses to the glass, then, since we were there, searched for something else to do. The ruins of an old castle beckoned from the hilltop. Foolish, bored, we went there. We were wrong. We dashed about the hill like frantic mice as winds wrapped coils of cold around us. We stuffed glove-muffled hands deep in our pockets and scuttled and stamped for warmth. You didn't understand then, and neither did I, what a fox's jealousy means. We didn't see that red brush-tip of a tail dipping itself in reality's whiteness, drawing mad swirls. Just at that moment, I was engrossed in you, lost in the newness of your land. And you, mesmerized as ever by our world, you had never known. At 3 a.m. that night, the fire alarm, some electronic device like no bell I'd ever heard, shrilled its mad cry in our ears. Again and again and again it shrieked, "Someone is going to die," flinging us both, bodies still clad for sleep, out into the black winter wind. Mercifully, that was all. A final warning. I cottoned on. Took the first bus to London, feeling the brunt of her stare as I passed into the cold grey wind. Leaning invisible in the leaves by the wayside, a cigarette's flick, and a tail, and triumphant dark embers watching.